Hello and welcome to another edition of Outside the Field with your co-stars Jacoby and my main boy Chris over here. Today we're going to be talking to you guys about stardom and sit-ems. So get ready for another great week of fantasy football, and we got some great intel for you guys. I'll pass it over to Chris real quick to talk to you guys about Discord real quick.
Before Discord, I need to know who Jacoby is because I've never met Jacoby before.
That's my alter ego, man. That's the guy that wins all my fantasy leagues.
Um,
So
all I know,
Jacoby is the champ.
no guys, what you need to know about Jacoby is that he's the king of creating the super team, but then he creates a super team that doesn't even make the playoffs. Like, I kid you not, this dude had the greatest 12-man team I've ever seen. Like, we'll have to go pull it up for you guys and we'll drop it on the Twitter. But this team was literally so unreal. And my team was like crippled. And I was like living with waiver wire players. And I was the reason he didn't get to make the playoffs. And I felt so good about myself that year. But yeah,
Man, I remember
that's
this.
Jacob as a fantasy football player for you.
It's because I kept going like, "Hey man, this guy's hurt for like 2 or 3 weeks. Like, let me take him off your hands." And they never came back, bro. They were
No.
just so hurt all year. Anyways, man, talk to our fans about Discord, man, and what we need to get going with
Yes.
that.
So Discord, I just started up a server for everyone, so I'd love for everyone to join the Discord and hop in there. We're gonna have, it's a great chance for you guys to chat with us and other people who hop in there. So I think it's a really good tool. Sometimes we all need to be able to double check ourselves because we aren't as great as we think we are in our own heads,
Yes, sir.
especially Jacoby. But
Man, maybe
please,
Jacob.
please,
Kobe,
please
he's a
talk
good
some
player.
sense into him on Discord and join. So, start after that, guys. Let's get it started today. Crabtree, who is your must-start QB of the week?
Bro, all right. This guy is going to take off, all right? We were talking about him being a sleeper all year, being a top 10 quarterback. Week 1, he didn't do well. The whole offense was just in shambles, but Ryan Tannehill, he is my must start this week. The ECR experts got him ranked around 10 right now. I definitely see him as a top 10 quarterback this week. So, this is a guy that, hey, remember, he got Julio in the offseason, already had A.J. Brown, was super efficient. The defense they're going to play, they're not going to get 5 sacks all from one guy on Ryan Tannehill again. That is not going to happen. So
We hope not.
I do think the Titans come back. Yeah, hope not. I do think the Titans come back and are very efficient, and I think they open up a can of whoop ass. So Ryan Tannehill, he's the guy, man.
And
What about you, Chris? What are you thinking?
I mean, you guys saw me. I had Ryan Tannehill's, I think, my sixth quarterback on the year. That's where I see him playing, so I think he's going to step up. But something I do want to mention about our waiver wire is, or not our waiver wire, sorry, wrong episode, guys. We've been recording a lot lately. um, Something I do want to mention is we're going to try to find you guys that are kind of in the back end. We all know we're going to start Dalvin Cook and Christian McCaffrey every week, so we're going to try to find you guys players that you're actually like really considering. So, we got Ryan Tannehill. We know you guys might be a little scared after last week. And my stardom is, we talked about earlier this week that you had to add him to your roster. So I hope you did so you can start James Winston this weekend. Um,
Sir.
I mean, he did throw 5 touchdowns, and we can't depend on that every weekend, but he has another great matchup against Carolina, right? Carolina, I believe. And, yeah, he's going to be eating his W's out there. He'll throw more than 178 yards, and I think the offense will be cooking. What do you think about that, Crabtree?
Honestly, I love it. I do. I almost picked him as my QB this week, but I just felt like there might have been a few more heads worried about Ryan Tannehill. But I love Winston. I think he's going to be super efficient this year with Sean Payton. I think he's going to have the turnovers down because he knows like, hey, if those go up, like I think he's very close to like losing that job if he has those go up. So yeah, I think that's a great play this week. I definitely could see a top 15 quarterback out of him this week. I have him as my top 10 I think I have him ranked 10 overall. Great idea, and definitely, yeah. If you got him, give him a whirl.
He,
Um,
he does play Carolina, just to confirm. But start off with some running backs. Who's some guy you really want to see on your roster playing this weekend?
Last week, obviously, a guy everybody's been really high on too going into the season didn't show up well. Najee Harris, man. He played Buffalo Bills. If anybody watched the game, it was a very defensive game, back and forth, Buffalo and Pittsburgh. The only reason Buffalo scored so early on is because the first kick return of the game, they returned it all the way to the 20-yard line. So yeah, it was a very low scoring game, very defensive game. But if you look at it, Najee Harris had 100% of the snap count for running backs. That's unheard of. He's going to be the workhorse there. If you saw Big Ben play, he did not look like the old Big Ben we were used to. I think they're very much going to run through Najee Harris this year, and he's going to have some opening holes this week, playing a little bit lighter of a defense. So yeah, look at Najee Harris to run away, maybe score close to 20 points this week. So big dub, I think, this week if you want to roll with him.
I
Chris,
think
what do you think, man?
I think it's a good call. I think a lot of people kind of like Tannehill will be a little scared to roll him out. So I think just have faith, trust the volume and roll with Najee this weekend. I have a couple guys I want to bring to you. The first one was just a guy we also talked about earlier this week, and I just know that Crabtree and I know he's about to roll this season. But David Montgomery, ECR
Yes.
currently has him at 16, and I'm telling you guys, like, no matter what, you need to have David Montgomery playing for your team this weekend. He plays Cincinnati, so that's a dream matchup, and he's going to roll and probably have a top 5 finish, or at least close to it, guys. I'm telling you, David Montgomery's season is in full effect, and we're going to be here for it. But looking at the later guys you might be looking actually to play on your roster, both of the Denver running backs I think are a great option, but I'm specifically going to highlight Melvin Gordon. It is really a 50-50 split at this point, but Javonte Williams' season is going to be later. He's going to win people some playoffs games. But right now, we're going to trust in Melvin Gordon, and I think he's going to roll and have a really good weekend. So that's my running backs for us. What do you think about those, Crabtree?
I love Montgomery, man. He's the guy. I've been on him since the end of last season. I was trying to acquire him in all my dynasty leagues. Wasn't able to in a lot, but yeah, he's a guy I love. Not too big of a fan on Melvin Gordon. I do think Javonte Williams is going to be the back there. Other than the 70-yard rush that Melvin Gordon had, he did not. I don't think his numbers were too great, but I do like the overall running backs for who they're playing. I think that's a great play. They're going to be up. They're going to have to run. I don't see. It's Jacksonville that they play. I don't see them winning that game. Going to some receivers though. Chris, who do you got as your top lock for receiver play this week?
No, I mean, it's obviously not my top guy, but like I said, we're going to try to find you some people at the back of your roster. You're like, do I play him? Do I not? Mike Williams. He came out week 1 and had a great game. Great game. And we play Dallas this weekend, so you have a perfect matchup. I think it's going to be 2 high-scoring offenses. They're going to put up a lot of points, which means a lot of points for Mike Williams to potentially gather. And, I mean, Keenan's going to keep eating, but he's kind of coming down, and you're really starting to see that in his efficiency as a player. His targets or yards per target are going down. So Mike Williams is going to keep stepping up in this offense, and I think he's primed for another great game.
That's
Crabtree.
awesome take. That's an awesome take, Chris. I obviously, as we talked earlier this week, like I love Herbert going in this week. I think I told you I think he's got an MVP type season coming ahead of him. So I like that take a lot, especially also obviously talking earlier about Dallas. Like Dallas is all passing, 20% running. Like this is I definitely see this being a high scoring game. Both teams scoring 30 plus. I think that's a great take. Somebody I got on my list, I think is only going up from here on out is Jacoby Myers. So typically when you see rookie quarterbacks, they usually latch onto one specific player, unless they're spreading the ball out a little bit more, doing drop off passes. But Jacoby Myers saw 9 targets last week, caught 6 of them. Yeah, only for 44 yards, but again, they played a pretty good Miami Dolphins team. In
Really
my
good
opinion.
cornerback group.
Yeah, really good cornerback group. So I think Jacoby Myers is Mac's guy, his favorite target, and I think all season long it's going to be something that we see consistently. Him getting anywhere from 8 to 10 targets, and anytime you get 8 to 10 targets, you can only go up with that. Like so, I see a lot of success for him and Mac this year, with that duo. So yeah, I think I think Jacoby Myers is the guy to start this week on your borderline flex play.
Yeah, I mean, I like Jacoby, and I think he's really going to have a good season, and I have a lot of faith in him, but I still think it's a little early in the season. You do get a much better matchup this weekend with him, so I mean, if you're in a spot, I'll probably play him, but I mean, if you have better options, I might look that way personally. Um, but we're gonna keep rolling, moving over to tight ends, Crabtree. Who's the man? Who's the
Dude,
man?
this guy with Jerry Judy out for a minimum of 8 weeks, I see this guy potentially creeping in.
Is it actually 8 weeks? I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, it's a high ankle sprain, man. This is no joke. Minimum or high ankle sprains, just for y'all that don't know, typically linger all season long too when they come back. So just think about Christian McCaffrey last year.
I needed him
He
in my
missed,
main league, guys.
he
I
missed
needed Judy.
yeah. He missed almost the whole season, Christian McCaffrey. And when he came back, he got hurt again. Lingering injuries with high ankle sprains. He's out a minimum of 8 weeks. I got this guy potentially creeping into my top 5. He won't go much further than top 5, but Noah Fant. I think this guy is going to see only increased targets. He was already a focal point in the offense. I think that he's going to get more and more looks, and I think that this guy is now poised for a breakout season with Jared Judy out of the look. Definitely a guy I would start and have high hopes for. I think that Denver will win, but it will be a little bit closer until the fourth quarter where they take away the game. So yeah, Noah Fant for sure. What do you think about that, Christopher?
You just know I don't like Noah Fant, man. I don't have faith in him as a player. His whole roster, I don't have faith in the situation. So I mean, ultimately, if you drafted Noah Fant, you probably paid a nice price for him. So you're probably in a position where you just have to start Noah Fant. And I mean, I'm not going to tell you to not start him. I just think it's going to be a lot of hills. It's kind of what his career's been, a lot of ups and downs. Not very consistent. Not a guy I have a lot of faith in. So I'm just gonna keep slandering Noah Fant. Sorry, Crabtree, but I told you guys earlier this week to pick up Jameis Winston, and I also told you earlier this week to pick up Dalton Schultz. So, moral of the story: watch the videos earlier in the week to know how to play later in the week. I'm just kidding, but start Dalton Schultz. Start Dalton Schultz, please. I'm not gonna tell you he's gonna be a great player, but I mean, if you're in a position like a pickle tight end, you have maybe some of these other guys we talk about later that you're not too confident in. Like I said, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think you could also very well start Jared Cook from the other side and feel really good about that. I'd have a lot of faith in both these guys. But I'm not too worried about Blake Jarwin. I think it's Dalton Schultz. I think that the Cowboys offense knows that that's the producer, and he'll keep getting the play. And in Superflex, or not Superflex, in tight end premium, if you kind of need a flex player, I'd honestly really look at him in the flex too. I think he could easily give you like 15, 16 points out of the flex in a tight end premium. What you thinking, Crabtree?
I like it. I like it. Like we both talked about earlier. I think Dallas Chargers. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. I definitely could see Schultz getting lucky with a tight end or a touchdown.
Play your Dallas players and play your Chargers players, please.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think you play Dallas players all year round, just with the way Dak's throwing the ball. He doesn't look like anything's holding him back with that injury that he's coming back from, and Herbert, obviously, like we said, MVP type season coming up. So yeah, look at that out. Let's jump over to Siddums, and I'm gonna start this off with an extremely bold.
Before we
You said
start,
what?
I just want to say, when we talk about Siddums, it's not necessarily a player you have to sit. It's just saying if you have other options on the bench that, we have a lot of confidence in, maybe it's a player you rotate in instead. But it's not necessarily a Siddum. It might sometimes be like a check your expectations and just be ready for what this player might do for you this weekend.
Exactly. And I'm gonna start this off with a very, very bold take in my eyes, but not somebody I've ever really been on, and I just don't see a lot out of it this week. But Lamar Jackson, quarterback, last 2 years playing the Chiefs, 2018 had 23 points, 2019 had 17 points. Let me just clarify it for you guys. Mahomes, he's this guy's daddy. Okay? It doesn't work. Okay, anytime they play,
Poor Lamar. It's true though.
Mahomes, Lamar. Okay, he's got him every time. It's not gonna be close.
Was
okay?
that supposed to be a W?
No, it was supposed to be like Lamar over. Mahomes. Right there.
Oh, all right. Listen, man. Children might watch this one day.
Oh
Okay,
man. Okay.
listen. Come
So
on.
hey, PG-13, moms, dads, like don't let your kids watch this one right now. Okay. This is
Maybe
the
next
only episode.
episode.
This is the only episode that will be rated PG-13
Okay.
just going
Okay.
forward.
So Lamar
But no,
Jackson.
no. Kidding aside, though, like Lamar Jackson has not done well with it playing the Chiefs. I think that the games always roll, Chiefs get up really big, large, late into the fourth quarter. It looks a lot closer than it really is because of garbage time. You might get lucky with the garbage time touchdowns and stuff like that, but I've been very big all year about being away from Ravens players just because of the injuries that have been going on. That along with Lamar being Mahomes' legit son, I don't think this is something that you would want to start this week. So if you have somebody else, or if you were lucky enough to pick up like
Mac Jameis.
A Jameis Winston week, I definitely would start Winston over Lamar. I don't see any more than 20 points this week. So yeah, that's my pick this week to sit. Chris, what do you think about that bold take, man? I know you're not a fan. Let me
You
hear it.
know, I'll allow it this one time. You know, you're always slandering Lamar for no reason, but
Okay.
you brought the
Okay.
stats, you backed your argument, so I'll allow your Lamar slander this one time on the video.
I
Um,
would like to say though, real quick, for the kids that were watching, I apologize. I should probably not have said that. So, like I said, please be PG-13. Sorry.
but my quarterback set of the week is going to be Mr. Trevor Lawrence, our number one pick. We had a pretty rough week one against a not great Houston team, going 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. So, I mean, once again, you should have picked up Jameis. So if you picked up Jameis, please play him instead. But if not, you could probably find someone else in a 1 QB league. And if you're in a 2 QB league, you're probably stuck playing Trevor Lawrence. But it's just, I don't know. I think we need to wait a little bit on it and see how it pans out. But right now, I'd rather just kind of look other ways if I had those options.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I do think that he showed an ability to make the right choice, and his IQ was kind of a little bit off with two of the interceptions he had. So yeah, not a bad sit 'em. I like it. I like it. What do you think? Moving on to running backs, what are you thinking this week?
So we heard that Josh Jacobs was going to be out. So, you know, you kind of figure out, oh, maybe Kenyon Drake and Josh Jacobs both had like pretty decent week ones. Nothing great, but put them together, you're like, I feel pretty good about that. But we got a terrible matchup here. Um, who does Kenyon Drake play again? I'm sorry, I need to look this up. But I'm sorry, guys. Let me figure
Are
this
you
out.
telling me you came unprepared, Chris?
No, I did. I really did for this one. I'm sorry, guys. Pittsburgh, yeah. So Pittsburgh is a complete. You just do not want your running backs to play them. If your running back plays Pittsburgh or Tampa Bay, you're probably just going to sit them unless you really don't have any other options. So I would not look for Kenyon Drake to have a good week this week, and I would be sitting him, even though he
Yeah,
did get the full starting role.
100%, 100%. I think that's a smart play there. I wouldn't touch Raider players unless you're Darren Waller. So that's
Yeah,
just me.
honestly.
Uh, I got a James Robinson this week for my sit 'em. Less and less carries. But for some reason, they just love Clyde there. You see him
Apparently,
getting
it's Urban Myers our problem. We need
it-
Urban to go. I have a lot
yeah.
of faith in Urban, but
I I personally like James Robinson. I think he does. I think he plays really well, but I
he
don't
does.
think the coaching staff wants to give him the ball. That with along with Trevor Lawrence being a new quarterback and kind of not knowing when to dump it off and trying to take bold chances. Sometimes I don't see James Robinson getting a lot of the passing work. And I think they're going to be down way too much to where he's not going to get the carries he needs to put up the numbers he did last year. Honestly, I don't see him finishing anywhere close to the numbers he did last year. I do think that unfortunately for him, it was kind of a 1 year in and or 1 year wonder basically, unless he gets traded or put on a different team next year. I unfortunately for those James Robinson owners in a keeper or dynasty league, I think you guys are in for tough times ahead. So yeah, I definitely would sit James Robinson this week playing a uh, shoot, who are they playing? Playing Tennessee or not Tennessee?
Yeah, now who's unprepared? Yeah,
Playing New England. New England.
yes. No, not New England. The Jets are
Mhm.
playing New England.
Oh, Broncos. That's who it is. Yes,
It's still a
Broncos.
bad matchup. But yeah, just like every other year, just don't play your Jaguars players, and you'll probably do pretty good in fantasy football. um. So yeah, so I don't know. You want to move over to receivers? Who are you trying to sit this week in the receiver pool?
So this guy, I feel like I have some bold takes this week, guys, and I understand if you don't want to run with them, but I'm telling you, I feel pretty confident in this. Debo Samuel this week, he had a great game last week. Unfortunately, I do see that being the highest or the ceiling for him this year. Um, if you look at it, obviously, run offense first, like that's what they're doing. Their quarterback's a running type quarterback. They got six different running backs that can be running back ones, just depending on who gets the ball. And if you look at it, they were up huge and blew the lead to where they had to throw the ball late. Like they shouldn't have even been in that position. His yards after the catch were absolutely atrocious. And yeah, I don't see this being something that is a long term, every week type thing. You also
And
got to look at
it
injury
was
prone. Go ahead.
sorry, it was against a very very bad Detroit secondary as well.
True, true. You got to look at Debo always being injury prone throughout his career, and Brandon Ayuk he's not going to play as bad as he did. He is the receiver one in that offense. He's electrifying. He's fun to watch, and he's going to get in a better rhythm with his quarterback. You got to think last year too. Pretty sure what Jimmy G got hurt last year, right towards the end.
Oh yeah, he gets hurt
Yeah,
every
so
year. Come on, it's Jimmy
yeah,
G.
right, right. So Brandon Ayuk was playing with a different quarterback too, so he's got to get on the same page with Jimmy G too. So just a lot of things adding up to where I don't think Debo Samuel has even close to the same performance. He might get hit 10 points, but I honestly see Brandon Ayuk just bouncing back this week and having a great game. So and I obviously run first offense, so I think they're going to be running it hard. So Chris, what do you think about that, man, my guy?
Yeah, I mean, I once again, I think it kind of comes down to your roster and what other players you have on there. Maybe if you had a Michael Thomas, you maybe are in a pinch where you have to play like a Debo Samuel's. But I mean, if you can avoid him, I would like to this week. I just don't have a lot of faith in Ayuk or Debo. We just really like not that either of them are gonna have bad seasons, but the problem is it's gonna be very hard to tell from week to week, like whose week it is. I think. So that's kind of where I'm feeling. Um, I have two guys I want to bring to you. Both were guys that I think we all had a lot of question marks about, and they came out week one and kind of lit it on fire. We were ready to take these two home and be like, you know what, this is it, receiver twos, plug them in. But I think both these guys, we need to pump the brakes this week and just not that I think they're gonna have bad seasons. I still think they could even potentially have an okay week, but I would very much rather play other players if I have them. That being Devontae Smith for the Eagles and Corey Davis for the Jets. We don't want to play Corey Davis because they're playing New England, and Bill Belichick against rookie and just young quarterbacks in general it's unfair. He's gonna take advantage of Zach Wilson. So Zach Wilson doesn't have a good day. Corey Davis isn't gonna have a good day. And then Devontae Smith, I think he's gonna be a good player there, but I think he's gonna be has a tough matchup against a strong San Fran defense this weekend, and so I'm just gonna kind of pump the brakes and maybe wait it out a little. Let him show me that he can be that good week in week out before I have faith in him in a tough situation. So, what do you think of those calls, Crabtree?
That's extremely interesting. The Corey Davis one, I feel like is bold. A lot of people are picking him to be a league winner this year, and I definitely could see the rough week playing New England. Like you noted, Bill Belichick just has his ways with rookie quarterbacks, so I think that's a good call. Devontae Smith, I think, is a little bit less likely to happen. I think that with the injuries kind of already piling up with Zach Ertz, I don't know if he's playing this week yet or not, but I know he's kind of has a lingering injury that he's dealing with. I think Jalen Hurts showed that he's got some potential to be a very good quarterback. I know the Eagles aren't as confident as some of us would like to be, but he's got to have a favorite target, and I think with the college play that they had together, I think that connection overrides whatever defense they're going to play this week. So it'll be interesting. I think Devontae Smith maybe has a little bit better luck than Corey, but I do like to sit him on Corey Davis for sure.
No, and I still think Corey Davis has that league winning upside for you. I just think that this is probably the week you want to sit him down. This and the next time he plays New England later in the season, just I wouldn't take my chances, guys. Just play someone
100%.
else. But we're gonna try to blow through these tight ends real quick. The player I think we should sit out this weekend is just kind of for the same reason, Devontae Smith. Not that I don't have faith in Jalen Hurts. I think he's still taking that step forward. But even Josh Allen took like a 3-year process, so I'm not expecting Jalen Hurts to completely great overnight. So I think there is going to be some regression in some tougher weeks and just a tough matchup against San Fran. I'm just probably kind of avoiding those Eagles pass catchers, and that includes Dallas Goedert.
Okay, yeah, I could see it. I could see a tough week going there. I
I
don't
think
really
I'd
have
just
much.
rather play like a safe floor option like Cole Kmet or Dalton Schultz. I think that's the option I would take in this situation.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I hear that. Another, I don't have any arguments with that. I feel like that's a decent one. I've never been, even if Dallas Goddard is playing, you still have the potential of Zach Ertz
Still don't know
taking
how to say his name.
Goddard or what? Well, no, I don't. What? Well, come on, one time. I got it this time. What is it?
What is it? No, you tell me what it is. Or you can
Wrong.
just tell me who you're sitting this week at the tight end position.
I'll just tell you how I'm saying because that's probably a little bit less embarrassing than me trying to figure out this name. But Kyle Pitts, man, this is a guy that I do think later on in the seasons will take off better. But just something that we've seen over the past seasons is rookie tight ends taking a little bit more time to develop. He's still a freak of nature. I think he's still going to be an elite tight end for years to come. But I do think I just see another rough week of him just trying to figure out his way in the system he's in and finding his path with Matt Ryan. Look for him to have a not a great game, but just a little bit under perform from what our expectations are just coming into this season and seeing how dominant he's supposed to be and not taking over right away. So just lower your expectations on him. Don't think he's going to come out here and put up 20 plus points because it's not going to happen. Just take it easy with your expectations.
And I think I do agree that I think Kyle Pitts could potentially, just because the tight end position does have such a large learning curve, I think it's a position you could see where he gets better as the season goes on. So, I mean, maybe once again, you pick up one of those safe floor options right now. And maybe it's you look at your lineup and you're like, do I need the upside or do I need the safe? And that's kind of where you might have to decide if you're going to play him from week to week. But I think that's, yeah. I think that's all we have for you guys today, and we really do appreciate you guys watching. Honestly, a lot of you guys have been really great from the start. We have a lot of you guys who have really helped us out and just gave us your advice, so we appreciate you all tuning in. And to anyone else new, thanks for joining. I hope you guys can drop a like and subscribe, and make sure you follow our Twitter and hop on the Discord for more information from us. Crafty, what do you got for us?
I just can't wait to hear about all these games you guys win this weekend from all this advice we're giving you. So look
Yes,
forward to
sir.
next
Yes,
week.
sir.
Look forward to next week and let's go on to 2-0, man. 2-0. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.